Hi Angels. This will be the chapter 22 of You Are My Heroes by Lavender Thoughts, 21 on AO3. Orange Peel Theory. Snack time! Aizawa called out as he got a classic American Lunchable from out of the fridge. The boys who were previously entertaining themselves by drawing in the living room immediately shot up at the mention of a snack. Stay there! You guys can eat and watch a movie. Aizawa called out to them as he opened the 2 packs, so they wouldn't struggle. That's when Aizawa recalled that Bakugo wouldn't like the crunchiness of the crackers. Seeing the problem, the man tried to think of a solution to not waste the meal. Luckily, the solution quickly revealed itself. Simply he grabbed Bakugo's crackers, wrapped them in a damp towel, and microwaved them for a couple of seconds, which made the crackers soft like bread. While Aizawa prepared their snack, Midoriya happily made his way to the other side of the table so he could sit next to Bakugo, so he wouldn't be in the way of the television. They usually sat across from each other, mostly because Izuku unconsciously fidgeted a lot and in turn would bother Katsuki by bumping into him. Although even across the table, Bakugo wasn't safe from Midoriya's stims. Just a while ago, the blonde got pelted in the face with a crayon that Izuku was rotating around in his non-dominant hand. Luckily, Katsuki only gave out an angry huff and with an accompanied glare to an apologizing Izuku. Here you go. Be good and eat the sweet after, Aizawa told them, and the kids nodded impatiently, waiting for their snack. When the man placed the Lunchables on the table, Izuku let out a delighted squeal as he saw that the package divided everything into neat segments. Katsuki was also happy with his meal, seeing the sweet treat in the corner. What do you boys want to watch? Disney? Studio Ghibli? Aizawa asked as he turned on the television for them, sitting back on the couch behind them. What's Studio Ghibli? Izuku questioned, and Aizawa instantly opened a streaming service to watch one of their movies. It's cartoons, let me put you a nice one. Aizawa quickly put on the movie My Neighbor Totoro. He felt like it was a proper fit, since the characters are making a home out of a new place and having fun. The movie started, and the boys watched as they ate their snack. Even though Bakugo took his time to properly make a sandwich out of the ingredients, provided he still ate faster than Izuku, who decided the best way to eat a Lunchable was 1 quadrant at a time. It was wrong, sure, but Izuku didn't care, and Aizawa had no need to correct him. He would let the boys eat how they wanted. Bakugo picked up his sweet treat, a Butterfinger, and unwrapped it from its wrapper. The boy put the whole thing in his mouth, his eyes lighting up at the sudden sweetness, making his cheeks cringe. The boy felt happy and tapped his fingers happily on the coffee table. That happiness didn't last long, because once he bit into the chocolate, he was surprised to find a rough, crunchy texture once he bit into it. Bakugo's face cringed up at the crunchy texture, and he immediately jumped up from his seat. The candy shot out of Bakugo's mouth and onto the floor next to him. The unpleasant situation left shivers running down Bakugo's spine as he licked his teeth to eliminate the sensation. Are you okay? What happened? Aizawa sat forward on the couch as he saw Bakugo become distressed. Bad food. Bakugo shook his head from left to right in quick, rapid succession as he tried to get rid of the unpleasant feeling. Crunch? Izuku questioned, and Bakugo nodded. Aizawa sighed at yet another mistake he made, forgetting to check the texture of the candy. Here, I eat this one before, soft, no crunch. Izuku grabbed the Reese's cup from his Lunchable and handed it to Katsuki. Aizawa's heart swelled at Izuku's selflessness, giving up his own sweet treat for Bakugo to enjoy without expecting anything in return. Thank you, Bakugo smiled as Midoriya handed him the treat, in turn making the green-haired boy smile wide as well. At least Bakugo understands the sacrifice Izuku made to make him happy and appreciates it. Such good boys, Aizawa sighed happily, leaning forward to ruffle Midoriya's hair as praise. Izuku liked doing good, and being told he was good made him overjoyed to the point where he had to shake his hands from the overflow of the emotion. The small boy giggled and leaned into Aizawa's hand, shaking his head in the man's palm. Oh, he's letting me. Aizawa took his hand off Midoriya's head as soon as he realized he did so without permission, although he also realized the action was received positively for the first time. The man smiled at the progress he made. The boy was beginning to trust him. Izuku was capable and open to positive physical touch. Aizawa just needed to remember to ask first. The man was lucky it wasn't received poorly. Bakugo ate the sweet treat in basically 1 bite, making sure it was soft and swallowing as the chocolate melted in his mouth. Midoriya was still eating the actual food pot and was just a couple of crackers away from finishing. Can I get orange? Bakugo spoke up to Aizawa. This was good. The blonde still had some fear in his eyes, and his breaths were slightly quicker when asking questions, but he was confident enough to trust that asking Aizawa this question could be okay. Yeah, of course. Aizawa began to get up, but Bakugo shook his head no, stretching out his arms to block the man. You want to get it yourself? Shouta questioned the only possibility, and Bakugo nodded. Okay. Aizawa agreed and sat back down, a little unsure of Katsuki's intentions. Bakugo scampered to the kitchen, and under Aizawa's watchful eye from the couch carefully moved and climbed up a chair to reach the fruit bowl on the counter. The man was nervous for the boy, seeing he had fallen from the chair before, but was ready to jump in at the sign of danger. Luckily his fear was unwarranted, because just as quickly as he got up, Bakugo was down again with the fruit in his hand. It's going to eat her. Izuku got up from his seat as his emotions rose with the sudden introduction of the big gray creature in the movie. Bakugo ran back to the coffee table, eager to see what was happening next in the movie. Aizawa thought the blonde would ask him to peel the orange, but that wasn't the case. Luckily for Bakugo, those so-called oranges were kid-friendly cuties, easily peelable. She's touching the monster. It's so big. What is him? Izuku couldn't help but rock on his heels, his fist on his chest as he excitedly and nervously looked on. Shh! Bakugo shushed Midoriya, the green-haired boy passing on his anxiety to the blonde. Izuku sat back down, finishing the last of his cheese as the scene played on. It was the part where the little girl hops on Totoro's stomach and first encounters the forest spirit. It's not going to eat her. Izuku looked back to Aizawa, and the man shook his head no. Bakugo, by the end of the scene, had barely finished peeling his orange, since he kept pausing the introduction of the creature. Katsuki was oddly efficient with his ability to ready the fruit for consumption, peeling it in a way that the full peel was intact, and separating the crescent pieces without piercing the thin film. Aizawa was prepared to bring them some hand wipes to clean their juice-filled hands, but unlike other children, Bakugo didn't make a mess. Katsuki put the now separated pieces of orange in front of Midoriya, putting them aligned neatly in a straight line. Izuku's green eyes shined as he realized that all the hard work Katsuki was putting into peeling the orange was for him. Thank you, Kachan, Izuku said to the blonde, but all Katsuki did was nod. Bakugo, don't you want one of your own? Aizawa asked, and Katsuki pulled out another cutie from in front of him. Oh, I didn't see it. Do you want me to peel it? Aizawa questioned, even though the man knew the boy would say no. Bakugo shook his head no and started to peel his orange. To Aizawa's confusion, Katsuki was less patient with his share. Bakugo peeled it in one big piece again, but was less gentle, resulting in some juice coating his fingertips. Mindlessly, the boy watched the movie and ate the fruit, pulling apart the crescent pieces messily. Oh, that's why. Aizawa thought as he saw that Izuku was carefully eating the pieces given to him by Bakugo. The blonde peeled the orange for Izuku, because if the green boy got sticky hands, he would find it unpleasant. As seen before, Izuku didn't like to be sticky or dirty. If he were to peel an orange, even if he was careful, it would be stressful. Like disarming a bomb, but instead of an explosion, it would be some stray juice making his hands sticky. Aizawa sat back on the couch, resting his back on the softness of the cushions. His eyes closed for seconds at a time as he struggled to stay awake. It would be irresponsible for him to sleep with the false security of the boys watching a movie. So Aizawa didn't sleep, he just closed his eyes, keeping an ear out for the boys' actions. Micro-sleep, he calls it. This is the end of Chapter 22. I'll see you in Chapter 23. If you have suggestions, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to know when the next one is out. Have a good day, angels.